You're on.
Okay.
This is my dear grandfather, my papi, and we're going to interview him and hear a little bit about his life so far. And
Tell you about my early years.
hi, papi.
Well, anyways, I was born in June 29th, 1925, and I remember when we lived on the Lower East Side, and it was it was a very hard life because my father, he used to work. To be an Orthodox Jew in those days wasn't like today. He worked maybe 30, 40 hours, and that's it. My father used to work close to 80 hours a week. Mm-hmm. I never saw him during the week, only on Shabbos, and most of the time he was so tired he used to fall asleep at the Shabbos table because of his working schedule.
Like you, right? Papi, you take after your father.
Right. And I remember when I was
Papi.
I went to Yeshiva RJJ, Rabbi Jacob Joseph school.
Mm-hmm.
Speak loud.
No, look at me.
Oh,
I want to see your eyes.
Oh, okay. And there was a lot. We had lots of friends because we went to school from 8:45 in the morning until about 6, 7 o'clock at night. Not like today's. And the Friday we went a half a day. And the summertime we only got off 1 month.
What did you do during that month?
We went to camp. I went to camp. RJJ had a camp for 2 weeks, and I loved the camp. I was a terrific camper.
How about your mother? What did she do?
My mother, I have pictures of when she was single. She was a nurse.
Oh.
And yeah, I remember. And on her hat they had in a Jewish hospital, and they had a Magen David on the nurse's hat.
Oh, that's nice.
And she was a very excellent swimmer. She loved swimming.
Your mother?
Yeah, my mother was a very good swimmer. And as a matter of fact, I always tell this story. I don't know.
You know that I had a dream about...
What?
I had a dream about your father's 80 last night.
Yeah?
Yes, something. I don't remember what.
My mother was a very good swimmer, and she always told me this. She told me this story.
Oh, good.
Oh, she ate it
Ask her
all
if
up.
she's full or if she wants more, okay?
Very good.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Put it in the sink yet, Yuri.
Okay.
Oh, the chair fell? Okay. Papi's telling us a story about when Papi was a little boy. Come listen.
I remember she told me we used to go out to Coney Island. Those days, Coney Island was a lot of Jewish people there. And we used to go out there. She used to take, with my parents used to take a bungalow there in Coney Island. And my mother, one day she said she went out swimming, and she got out. There's a pier in Coney Island. If you've been to Coney Island, there's a pier that goes out way out into the water. And she swam way past the pier because she was an excellent swimmer. And then she wanted to turn around to go back, and there was a terrific tide, and she just couldn't fight the tide. And she said she would have hollered, but there was nobody around. So she said she started to pray, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this man appeared right next to her. She doesn't know where he came from or anything. And he said to her, are you in trouble? And she said, yes, sir, I can't fight the tide. So he said, come, I'll swim alongside you, we'll swim together. And they swam back to shore. And there was a little distance from the shore. And she wanted to turn it, and she said, I don't know if she was speaking whether to him or not, because when she said, from here, I'll be able to make it. So when she wanted to turn around to thank him, and he wasn't there. The man just disappeared, just like he came.
Wow.
He disappeared. So it was really a miracle. And what else you want to ask me?
Yeah, tell me about you. So you went to RJJ, and then as you got older, what did your father do?
My father, my father worked. not only that, my father, he worked, and then 2 nights a week he went to Textile High School to take up designing.
Right, so that's how OK Uniform started, right?
Well, no, that's right. He took up pattern making. That's how he became a very good, excellent pattern maker, and he worked for this company. And what happened was how he went into business. They went on strike just before the World War II, and they went on strike. And he was what they call, he used to sneak in. Because the union was there, they couldn't work. So people used to sneak in around the back of the block to get into the factory to do work. And they found out that my father. Shut it off.
Shut off the. Why?
Yeah, no, so you want to put the plates away.
No.
So what happened was, of course, he had to make a living. We had have 5 children, and so one day, Sunday, he wasn't working. He usually worked on Sunday because of the strike. He didn't go into work on Sunday, and these bums from the union came up into the apartment on the Lower East Side, and they beat him up. So they thought they killed him. They hit him on the head, got a concussion. And they had to. My mother took him to the hospital, and when he came out, my mother wouldn't get back. Go back to work. He says, "We'll go into business." And I recall they bought a little factory that was on Prince and West Broadway, and they bought this little factory. We had machines and everything. There's an elderly man.
Go. We need to make in the potty.
Okay.
Be right back.
I'm going to work, and so this man was selling his business. He was retiring, and they bought the business, I think, for $5,000. Naturally, they didn't have $5,000. They borrowed from the Hayas and from this organization, but this, of course, because they didn't have the money. And finally, they bought the business, and that's how they started. And I went to yeshiva till RJJ only had like the 2 years high school. So from there, I had to leave. Of course, they didn't want to send me to YU because it was way uptown. It was like over an hour ride, and I was only 13 years old, so they didn't want me to ride up there on the subway. So I went to Seward Park High School. In Seward Park High School, I used to get out at 3 o'clock, and then I used to deliver packages for my father, and he used to send. I loved it when he sent me out in packages because he used to give me 10 cents, 5 cents for going and 5 cents coming back. But I used to keep the dime and carry the packages wherever it went to, even though some of them weighed only 50, 60, 70 pounds.
Good girl.
I used to carry it on my shoulder to save the 10 cents. And I used to buy candy for the 10 cents. I had candy. Now, what else did you want to ask me about just now?
Okay, so you bought candy, and then after high school.
Yeah. You want to then what? Oh yes. Yeah. Well, I had one of the rabbis was from Rabbi Quinn. He became a Rosh Yeshiva, I believe, in He was a young fella at that time.
Go bring the drums to Safta. Play the drums to Safta.
We were his first class that he taught at RJJ before he went to Torah V'das. He was there for about 2 years. And then Rabbi Hutner was the principal in RJJ also, and I knew him very well. I used to be in his office quite often.
Troublemaker?
Troublemaker. That's right. The rabbis used to send me down to him. But he was very modern. He had a ping pong table. We used to play ping pong in his office for us, for all the good boys. And what else? Let me see now.
Tell me a little bit about the Navy and Safta.
When I turned 18 years old, this was in 1943. And that was in June and July, August, and September. The first week of September, I was drafted into the Navy, and I was very lucky because I didn't want to go into the Army. And when I went down to the induction center, They give you examination. Then when you finish, if you pass, they asked you. So they asked me what branch of the service I want to go into. So I said the Navy. So they said, go over to this desk. There was a Navy guy there. And he says, welcome aboard. And that's how I got into the Navy. And was there.
You liked it?
Yeah, I liked it very much. You met a lot of people, a lot of boys from all over the country.
Were there a lot of Jews there?
Met a few Jews, yeah. We kept together with a few Jewish boys there in the Navy. And I remember then I was stationed in Newport, Rhode Island.
It's beautiful there.
And it was very nice, yeah, right on the water. And it was very, very nice. And then I remember one incident. There was a Polish. We had the chief petty officer in charge of our group was a Polish guy, and he makes this Polish kid. He was in charge of us, and this Polish kid was a stupid guy you ever met in your life. And he always used to give me a bad time because he knew I was Jewish, and I didn't do anything about it. Then we were in the washroom. I was doing some laundry, and they had a big urinal that ran about maybe 20 feet, one big urinal. So I go. I had my bucket, and I spill out the water I had in there, and I put in all the urinal. And he comes in, he starts heckling me, and I give it to him with the urinal right in his face. and he never bothered me again.
Wow.
Never bothered me again. But he was a son of gun. He reported me to the chief petty officer, and I had to stay in guard duty 4 hours. 4 hours on and 4 hours off, and I didn't sleep the whole time because I wasn't allowed to go into the bed, lay down the mattress. The mattress had to be folded over. But anyways, I survived. And then you want to know how I met Safta?
Yeah, that's all.
We had a group, a lot of boys and girls who were all around the same age group. And we used to go up, every Wednesday night, we called it Jew night. We used to go, there used to be an ice skating rink in Brooklyn on Atlantic Avenue. And we all used to meet there. We used to go, we used to ice skate and that. And it was very nice. And oh yes, every year they used to have like a convention, the Young Israel, up in the mountains. And I had this friend that I knew, she was a friend of mine, and she was a friend of Judy's, and she introduced me to Sapta.
Was it Grossingers?
It was Grossingers.
Yeah, you went to Grossingers.
Grossingers.
On a singles event?
Yeah, right. There wasn't singles. A lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of singles used to go up there. A lot of singles.
So you met Sapta and you thought she was beautiful.
Yeah, well, naturally. And what happened was, this fella, I'd say his last name was Silva. I don't recall his first name. Irving Silva. So he lived in Brooklyn. I was friendly with him. So he asked me if I had room in the car. Not many people had cars that day. So I said, sure, I'd take her home. She lives in Brooklyn. And I dropped them all off. And Sapta was the last one. And when I get back home, after dropping her off, I see she left her umbrella in the car. A red umbrella, still remember. So I think I have to return the umbrella, so I called her up, and as long as I called her up, I made a date. So we
Wait, did you like her?
Yeah, well, otherwise I wouldn't take her out.
Right.
And we had a very good time. We used to go dancing, and we used to go, and then I was telling you about the ice skating. We used to go ice skating Wednesday night. And so I come home from the date, I see she forgot to take the umbrella. So the umbrella, got to return it again. So I call her up, make another date.
She had a plan.
And we had maybe she did have a plan. And I get back home again, and the umbrella's in the car. And this led finally,
where's that red umbrella?
I don't know what happened to it. We should have it in a monument. Yeah, so that's how that started. And Sapta was a school teacher. She got her doctorate in special education. She was a brilliant girl.
Brilliant. No one. She is so smart.
And a very good student. She had very good marks, and but she liked to fool around a lot, you know. So she wasn't from the very hard workers. She liked to have good times. And what else would you like to know? Ask me. And what do you call it? And my grandfather, Mayor Reiser, we lived on the same street when I was a youngster. So he had a restaurant in his house. He had a brownstone, but on the main floor, he had a little restaurant. And the yeshiva was on the same street, so we always used to go in there. He had a seltzer machine. I used to bring a friend in there to get some seltzer, and he was very, very generous. So he always used to give me 2 cents, and if I had a friend with me, he always gave him a penny. And those days, a penny and 2 cents went pretty far, not like today. $1 isn't worth anything. Probably what you bought for a penny and 2 cents cost you more than $1 today. So, ask me some questions. What else would you like to know? Shut it off.
Oh, okay. That's a good idea.
What's his name? Rabbi Scheinberg. His family his parents, Rabbi Pinchas Scheinberg, was very good friends with my parents. His parents, my parents, they were very good friends. And Rabbi Pinchas Scheinberg, the son, so he, was the Masada Kedushin at our wedding. And we used to know a lot of these people. The one who wrote the book All for the Boss, we knew her. And they all lived on, there was a lot of famous people who lived on the Lower East Side. Mm-hmm. I don't recall exactly right now all their names, the Brodies, the Shines, all these famous people, and this Rabbi Herman. They were all friends of my parents. Mm-hmm. And what else? Even today, those years, they used to punish you, not like today. If you touch a child, God forbid, they sue you. I remember in the Hebrew department, that was in the morning. If you came late, so you had to go to the principal's office. And he had a big ruler. You had to stick out your hand. And he used to hit you on your hand.
Papi talking.
Give you with the ruler, with this big ruler. You had to line up, and if you took away your hand, you got double. Then I remember we had one teacher in the English department, and one day, he was a mean guy. If you were bad, if you didn't like, he used to put red ink in your ear, right here in the little place here. He used to put red ink, and. It wasn't like today, and I had very good teachers. I liked them most of them. Oh yeah, in my class we had. Moshe Tendler was in my class. We're very good friends. He still sees me today. We always grab around each other. We're so glad. He always says to me, "We were not too many of us left." And then there was this famous painter, what they call Michel. Maybe some of you heard about him. He's paint famous artist. He was in our class. I remember when he was a kid, when the teacher went out to him right away, he jumped up to the blackboard and he used to draw. So when he was a kid, it was already in him. And then we had, Jake Rabinowitz. He went on to become Dean of Boys at YU. He was in my class. We had some very questionable. And Rabbi Bullman was in our class, and I don't remember all. Who else there, Sapta? There was, and so you can see we had a very good class, but a lot of us. Oh yeah,
Sapta knows everything.
One of the punishments, this Rebbe, he was a mean thing. Nobody liked him. First of all, he was he used to smoke one cigarette after the other. Those days, the always used to do it, smoke in class. So, and if for punishment, he used to, you had to hold about 8 or 10 of these big chamashim. We were only about 8, 9 years old. Stand in front of the class holding these, you have me on there? You have it on there?
Yeah, it's on.
On the chamashim. And you had to stand there and hold them, and they got so heavy after a few minutes. And but he didn't care. He kept you up there for about a half hour or so, and you would put them, rest them on your leg, hold your one foot up, and put it on the next leg. It was just real punishment. If they had it today, you should send those people to prison.
Right now, you just got sent to the principal's office.
So it was really very bad punishment. But we never said anything. We came home. We never would tell the. We would never tell our parents.
How come?
Because they would hit you. You must have been bad. But they would hit you. But my parents never hit me. My parents, my mother, my father,
And you like to play sports, right?
Oh, yeah, we played a lot. In the summertime, we had a lot of friends from yeshiva. We lived in the, most of our friends lived in the neighborhood, and we used to play a lot of baseball. We challenged other street teams from different states. We always baseball. And we had one incident. And
your favorite player, Lou Gehrig, right? Always.
Gehrig and Babe Ruth.
You watched them play.
Yeah, I saw them play. And an incident we went up to Yankees. We used to go from the educational lines. We used to call it the Edgies at that time. It was a building on East Broadway, and there they had all kinds of games and everything. You used to spend a lot of time there. It was very good. And but every week they used to take you twice a week to a baseball game, and all to the Yankees or to the Giants in Ebbets in the Polo Grounds. I don't know, they didn't take you to the Brooklyn games. Well, anyways, and one day we went to the Yankee game. So we didn't go home with the group. We were with 2 other fellas, and we got on the train. Those years, all the baseball players, they didn't make money like they did today. So we went. They all used to go home by subway. So we got on the subway, and we were with Hank Greenberg. And Hank Greenberg was a very tall fellow, and actually he was Jewish. And we didn't know how Jewish he was. Well, we were little yeshiva kids. So one of the kids asked him, wanted to know if he wore tzitzis. And he said, what? Well, what's tzitzis? I still remember today. The way he said, what are you talking about? What's tzitzis? He said, I wear tzitzis. And so, and most of the family lived near each other. My grandparents lived down the street from us, which I was there most of the time because they were very good. And my aunt Esther and Pauline and Rebecca, they were all youngsters. I know Esther and Rebecca are not here anymore, but Esther and Pauline. Rebecca, she was about 10 years older than me. I remember when she was a schoolgirl, when she went to school, and she had big curls, Rebecca. And we used to have a lot of fun together. And they had this little restaurant, and a 5-course dinner used to cost 65 cents. So, because a lot of them, they came over here before they brought their family, so they used to eat there for Shabbos. So a lot of them was such a big meal, so they'd eat half on Friday night, and they'd come back for the rest of the meal on Saturday after davening for 65 cents. But those years, also I remember, I used to fold the napkins. Napkins didn't come like today, folded in packages. The napkins came flat. So they taught me a way. It was hard to take them apart. So you took with your knuckle from your finger and you just turned it around, and they used to come apart. They used to turn around the napkins, and then I'd fold them. And they would give me, for folding the napkins, they would give me a nickel. So always for candy, naturally. And that's, I don't know, anything else? Any other questions, Safta? She knows that. So we used to, when we had recess at 10:30, we went from 8:45 or 9 o'clock to 10:30, then we had a half-hour recess. And they used to have these guys selling outside. One guy sold Kanishas, another guy sold Albus. So, turn it off. You want to answer the phone?